paper 2, November 2024. So this is the final exam for 2024. This is the DBE, as you can see. Let's go to section A. Today we will be doing section A, which is multiple choice. 1.1 various. So on the left hand side I have my questions, and on the right hand side I have the quiz pose feature that allows me to pick one of the options from A to D as my possible answer. But this is just for practicing. In the exam they will not give you this kind of thing, so this is just for us, just to make things a little bit easier for us using technology. Okay, so it is responsive. If I pick this option, it will make a tick. So I have already answered this question, but yeah, so it will make a tick and give the explanation why this answer is correct or why this answer is wrong. Right, so 1.1, the marketing process involves. So we had option A, B, C. A says that involves determining the product the customer wants. B, determining the product of interest to the supplier. So marketing has nothing to do with the supplier. So already it is out. Management of sales volume, no, we don't deal with sales volume here. So sales volume is for selling. Okay, so there is a difference between selling and marketing. So sales volume is for selling, so C is out. D, planning based on current products. So marketing is not based on the current market trends, so that is selling, because marketing, it does what? Marketing is long-term planning. Okay, so D is out, C is out, and B is out. That means we are left with A, which is determining the product the customer wants. Why are we saying determine the product that the customer wants? So marketing is a consumer-oriented process that brings sellers and buyers together for exchange of goods and services with focus on satisfying the customer's wants, the customer's needs and wants. It is a long-term planning, and it is profit motivated management. So, and the answer is A. You can see I had already selected one of the options, which is A, letter A, and it gave me an explanation. Marketing involves activities that create, communicate, deliver, and exchange products that provide value to customers. It aims to meet, this is the point that I was looking for. It aims to meet their needs and wants and achieve customer satisfaction. Okay, that's why A was the correct answer. Okay, 1.1.2. One of the following statements is not correct about factors that hamper the marketing of agricultural products. Okay, so let's go back. Let's think. The factors that hamper the marketing of agricultural products are here in the options that are provided. Okay, so, and what is the required? We want the option that is not correct about what? The factors that hamper the marketing of agricultural products. So poor infrastructure is correct, is one of the factors that hamper the marketing of agricultural products. Perishability of the product Leona, it is correct. Okay. C, high value in relation to volume. High value in relation to volume, that means sorry, high quality compared to the quantity, high quality compared to the quantity. C, C, I don't think it is part of the factors that hamper the marketing of agricultural products. Let's see D. Wide distribution of the product. I think D speaks about the long distances that this product this produce travel in trucks. Okay, so there is long distances. For example, maybe let's say a truck moves from ZZ2, let's say ZZ2 is in Limpopo, the farms for ZZ2 are in Limpopo, so it moves from Limpopo to Gauteng or Limpopo to KZN or what. So that's long distances. So wide distribution of the product or the produce can hamper the marketing of agricultural products, because that long distances of traveling, it can have an impact on the produce. Okay, something can happen along the way. So that's why it is always recommended in terms of logistics or supply chain management to make the distance to be shorter, the distribution process to be shorter. Okay, so that we can avoid a lot of things that might happen along the way, because long distances are not recommended. But yeah, so okay, I said that okay, we take A, poor infrastructure, perishability of product. Perishability, that means that the product can be rotten. Okay, these are products such as banana, say, tomato, see, okay, they are very, 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 very vulnerable to being rotten. Okay, so wide distribution of the product, yes, can hamper the marketing of agricultural products. So that means, sorry, C is the one that is not correct here. Let's say C. Bah! Correct answer. So yes, poor infrastructure, poor road infrastructure, perishability, which is spoilage of the produce, wide distribution of the product, such as traveling long distances from where they are produced to where they will be sold, thus increasing costs, and lack of control over production, which can lead to oversupply, can hamper the marketing of agricultural products. But high value in relation to volume cannot cause difficulties in the marketing of agricultural products, because high value is not one of the factors that hamper the marketing of agricultural products. Okay, I think it explains it very, very, very well. Okay, so we say that C, a channel where products are advertised to a global consumer with upfront payment, is marketing. Okay, so here they're telling us there is a channel. Okay, and in this channel we have the products that are advertised to a global consumer. That means a broader audience. Okay, globally. Okay, so we can reach a broad wider of a broad wide of audiences all around the world. So global consumer with upfront payment, contract. Do we have contract marketing as the one that will reach the global consumer? No. Farmgate is when we do our marketing. That's when we sell our produce in front of the farm gate. Okay, in front of our gate at the farm. Stock sale, that's when we take our products to the auction. So mostly we take our livestock to the auction, where the highest bidder will be the one that will take that livestock at a certain price, and they are the one that will be bidding. Yeah, so the highest bidder will take that livestock. So it will be different buyers. So a group of buyers bidding on the prices. So the other one can say 20,000, and the other one can say 30,000. I take it. Then the one who has the highest bet will take the livestock. Right. Then the internet. The internet marketing channel. So internet marketing channel, that's where products are advertised to a global consumer base online with upfront payment. Yeah, that's what we are looking for, right? So the answer is D. Let's see. Yes, goods are sold to the broader audience as customers all over the world can simply buy vegetables from my website, which is the online store. This is convenient, cheaper, and easier as there is no need to go to the physical store. Thus, let me do the read more. Okay, thus customers save on transportation costs, but the disadvantage is that only those customers with internet access can be able to buy, and some customers don't want to share their personal and banking information online, so they cannot buy online because of security reasons, because they can be data breach, they can be online scams. Okay, so it is not that safe. Okay, so it's not that safe because they can be data breach. Right, so that's D, internet marketing channel. Let's go up. 1.4. Okay. The downward sloping curve to the right in a market implies that. So I got it on the demand and supply graph. We have the curve that is upward sloping and the curve that is downward sloping. The one that is downward sloping is the demand curve, and the one that is upward sloping is the supply curve. So here they say that the downward sloping curve, so they are referring to the demand curve. Okay, so the downward sloping curve to the right in a market implies that. So we have options, Roman figure 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, implies that as the price of a product rises, the quantity demanded drops. Roman figure 2, when the price of a product rises, the supply remains constant. Roman figure 3, there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Roman figure 4, the quantity demanded is high as the price of a product is low. Choose the correct combination. Okay, so for 1.1.4, we have B as the correct answer. Okay, that's B. Why am I saying B? So the higher the price, the lower the demand. Okay, the higher the price, the lower the demand. That's Roman figure 1. As the price of the product rises, the quantity demanded drops. The higher the price, the lower the demand. So this is an inverse relationship. If something goes up, the other one goes down. This means that if the price increases, the quantity demanded decreases. And if the price decreases, the quantity demanded increases. Okay? The lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. Also, the demand curve is downward sloping to the right, while the supply curve is upward sloping to the right. Where the demand and supply curves intersect is called the market equilibrium. So yeah, that's the explanation for it. Roman figure 3, there is an inverse relationship between the price and the quantity demanded. That's what I explained here. Or there is an inverse relationship. I talked about the inverse relationship. The quantity demanded is high as the price of the product is low. And I talked about it. So everything is covered here. One of the following is not a method to improve productivity of land, to improve the productivity of land. A, we have intercropping. B, we have improving soil fertility. C, we have monocropping. D, we have restoring the land potential. Okay, so intercropping, it makes sense. Yes, we improve the productivity of the land by doing intercropping, meaning intercropping is by switching to different crops. That means if this season or if this year we are planting maize, the next year we are changing, we're planting something else. Maybe we can plant soybean. Then the following or the upcoming year, then we plant tomatoes. Then that year, the following, then we can plant something else. So we don't repeat the same crop year after year after year, right? So is one of the method of improving productivity of the soil. Okay, so that soil will not be prone to erosion and what I think that soil leaching or mineral leaching. That's when the minerals of the soil are wiped away by the water or the floods because of this monocropping. If we are practicing monocropping, planting the same crop year after year, so yeah, so that means intercropping is one of the best methods for improving productivity. B, improving soil fertility, maybe adding organic matter, okay, to the soil, improving soil fertility, and then it's one of the method of improving the productivity of the soil. Monocropping is not, okay. Monocropping is not gonna improve the productivity of the land. It's not gonna improve the productivity of the land, because that's when we basically plant the same type of crop year after year after year. Got it? Year 1 plant maize, year 2 maize, year 3 maize, year 4 maize, until, and that will definitely make the soil to be prone to erosion or mineral leaching. So monocropping is not recommended. D, restoring the land potential. Yeah, this one is the best method to improve the productivity of the land. So restoring the land potential, basically that's when you skip, you don't plant anything on that land. Maybe you can skip maybe for 1 year or 2 years without planting anything, just to give that land to just restore, okay, just to breathe, without cultivating. Just leave that land without planting anything, right? So here they want the option that is not a method to improve the productivity of the land. So we said that's C, monocropping. Yeah, that's right. And we have the explanation here. Here they want the option that is not a method to improve the productivity of land. Monocropping is when a single crop species is planted and cultivated repeatedly on the same land season after season. It involves growing one type of crop over a large area without rotating with other crops. For example, a farmer grows maize for year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 3 without switching to other crops. Monocropping doesn't improve the productivity of land and can lead to land degradation. So monocropping is not the option, but other options are right. So the one that is not is monocropping. So that's why I said C. Right. 1.1.6. One of the following is not a source of capital. Okay. Sources of capital. We're going to be playing with that. So A, risk factor. B, trust company. C, business partner. D, land bank. Okay, sources of capital. Land bank, yes. Business partner, yes. Trust company, yes. Risk factor, no. Risk factor is not the source of capital. I don't know what is it, but it's not the source of capital. So here they want the option that is not the source of capital. So we say the risk factor, which is A bar. And yeah, they give us the explanation. Let's look at the explanation. Here they want the option that is not a source of capital. Sources of capital are ways in which the farmer can source funding or capital to start and run their enterprise. We have land bank, commercial banks, a trust company, a business partner, or we can use our own savings. But the risk factor is not a source of capital. So the risk factor is wrong. That is the wrong answer that they want you to take out there. They're just trying to see if you can spot the wrong answers. One point 1.7. A farmer may apply the measures below to increase labor productivity on the farm. Roman figure 1, have the correct type and number of workers. Roman figure 2, set clear, unattainable goals for workers. Roman figure 3, give workers the opportunity to be involved in decision making. Roman figure 4, ensure the welfare of workers. Choose the correct combination: A, B, C, or D. So now we choose B. Okay, let's read the explanation. So set clear, unattainable goals for workers. That was the red flag. Okay, it doesn't fit, because here they're telling us, this person is applying these measures below to increase the labor productivity on the farm. Okay, we are trying to improve the labor productivity, but can you increase the labor productivity by setting clear, unattainable goals for workers? Unattainable goals is those goals that are unrealistic. They're not realistic, meaning they cannot be achieved. Meaning they are more difficult because they're not realistic. They're not achievable. Okay, so set clear, unattainable goals for workers was a red flag. So the problem is that if the task assigned to the workers is not possible or unrealistic, this will decrease production, as the workers are also human beings and they get tired if something is difficult to do. So a farmer can increase labor productivity by ensuring that there is the right quality and quantity of labor, involving employees in decision making and ensuring the good health of workers. So the answer B is the one that we take here, is the one that will help this farmer to increase the labor productivity on the farm. Is letter B, which says have the correct type and the number of workers. Roman figure 3, give workers the opportunity to be involved in decision making, and Roman figure 4, which is ensuring the welfare of workers. The external force which can affect a farming business. An external force which can affect a farming business. A, we have the quality and the cost of a product. B, available equipment and machinery. C, amount of debt a farmer has at a bank. D, policies about the labor force. Right, here they want the external force which can affect the farming business. Externally, we have to understand when we are dealing with external, we're dealing with the external environment of the organization. Okay, external environment of the farming business, meaning we are looking at the things that are happening outside. The things that are happening outside, not in the inside. But if they say the internal force, the internal, that means internally, that's what is happening in the organization. Okay, things concerning the workers or the working conditions or the machinery that we have, equipment, that's the internal. But when we talk about external, that's the external environment. Okay, and some of the things we don't have control over as the business because they are external. Okay, right, and we say that's D, policies about labor force. So let's look at the explanation. Labor laws and regulations are external factors that are beyond our control, and changes in these laws can impact how we manage workers on our farm. It is important to stay informed about any updates as violating labor laws while managing employees can lead. Okay, so it is important to stay up to date or informed, okay, about any changes in these labor laws, okay, because violating labor laws while managing employees can lead to legal issues or trouble with the government, and this can impact our farm in a negative way, okay, our farming business in a negative way. So the external force which can affect a farming business is the policies about the labor force. So basically, policies about the labor force, they made it to be specific to labors, but when we generalize, we say these are the rules and regulations, the legislations that are implemented by the government or that are imposed by the government. Okay, so then they are not necessarily only based on the labor force. There are other legislations that are there to make sure things are going according to how the government wants things to go, so that there can be order in the business environment. Because if there is no legislation, and rules or procedures, any business can just do what they want to do, and this can impact the population or the community or the surrounding community or the people in the country in a negative way or in a positive way. So that's why these legislations are there to just guide these businesses, and they're not guiding only businesses, they're also guiding others. Okay, right. 1.1.9, if a homozygous dominant tall plant, which is TT, okay, is crossed with a homozygous recessive plant, TT. Okay, so we have tall plant, which is capital letter T, okay, and a homozygous recessive plant, which is small letter TT. So the genotypic and the phenotypic percentages of all tall plants in the F1 generation will be, okay, so will be 100%. Why am I saying that? This is because we are crossing a homozygous dominant tall plant and a homozygous recessive short plant, right? And we know a dominant allele will always mask the effect or the expression of the recessive allele. Meaning this T with the capital letter will always mask the expression of this smaller t, this t with a small capital letter. Okay, that means the homozygous recessive plant will not be able to express itself when it comes to the phenotypic phenotypic what? Oh, yeah. When it comes to the phenotype, again, the phenotype is the physical appearance of the offspring. Okay, so it will be masked by the dominant allele for tall. That means for all the offspring for those parents will have tall characteristic, will all be tall. Okay, they will be tall. So which means what the genotypic and phenotypic percentages of tall plants in the F1 generation will be 100%. Okay, but this one we don't have the quiz post feature for it here. We'll just skip through on 1.1.10. The illustration below demonstrates an example of in a chromosomal mutation. C. Polyploidy. Polyploidy in a chromosomal mutation. Polyploidy. Right. So yeah, that's it. That's the multiple choice questions.